Beats Planet.
Hello. What's good with y'all, man? What's good? Come on in here. Yo, Will, I ain't gonna lie, man. I almost wore an orange shirt today.
Got.
Nah, I ain't forget, you know what I'm saying? I just almost wore an orange shirt just to be like Bernie Mac. You know what I'm saying? You got the Bernie Mac drop for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you, brother. I got you.
Just the
I ain't scared of you, mother.
I almost came in this boy with two shirts on, with a orange undershirt and an orange hoodie, just to do it.
Yeah.
Just to let them know I ain't scared of you, I ain't fooling with you, you know what I'm saying? But we back to regular schedule, man. It is what it is, bro. We got some fun little talk today. I had already watched Junior Fehoko. We're still going down the line here. And you know, mind you, we'll still, you know, we just going down the line. I might call an audible like in the middle of going down this line and be like, hey, we not doing Jalen Brooks and Eric Scott. You know what I'm saying?
I'm calling one. I'm skipping. You already told you what I'm doing.
Yeah. Cause it's interesting because, you know, some of these undrafted guys are just simply more interesting than them. So later on down the line, if we find a day, you know, where we ain't doing nothing else, or we end up in rookie camp and Eric Scott caught 6 picks or something like that, hey, we'll talk about it. You know, we'll bring back Eric Scott. He gonna have to prove himself. You know what I mean? I'm not finna talk about, you know, future Noah Brown, you know what I'm saying? And he ain't done nothing to make me talk about him. So that's what that is. But we're gonna slow burn this thing today. We're talking about Viliami Jr. Fehoko. That's Vita Vea little cousin. And I thought it wasn't Semi cousin. And then Semi came out and it was like, cuzzo. So I was like, well, damn, that might be Semi cousin. But then, like, what if it's like just in their culture to call each other cousin? You know what I mean? Like what if it's their thing? You know?
Them island boys, man, the bloodline thick. They don't play. They don't play.
I was sounding so racist watching film on him because San Jose. Look, she got. Yo, look. Hey, look. Since you mentioned this, there's 3 of them. We was watching San Jose State film, right? And it sounds so racist when I say this, right? We was identifying Junior, right? And I was like, all right, he's number 42 with the long hair, but not 78 with the long hair, and not 9 with the long hair, but he's 42 with the long hair. Then we went to 2021 film of Viliami Fehoko. It's 3 different long hair dudes, including they a long hair defense over there. We'll still, you know what I'm saying? So we gotta identify that. But today we're talking about Junior Fehoko. I'm your host, by the way, Lombardi,
AKA Ferrari.
VOCHLOMBARDI. Being point guarded by the best in the business, Master William Steele.
I am Smack Talker Skywalker, and I got a mic saber for a hater.
That bar is so hard. I got a Mike Saver for a hater.
Come on,
I
man.
just noticed something, though.
Mm-hmm.
You got the blue on for San Jose State. They have gray.
Come on, man.
In their color scheme.
Come on, man.
I guess you could say we put it together again today, yo. I'm just saying, I put it together again.
Come on. Now, the hard part is I had to find a lighter shade blue of this for tomorrow because we're watching Awesome or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, got to save the baby blue. I already pulled out the baby blue last week. Sky blue.
I got the shirt and the watch, Will, still. Don't even worry about it.
That blue watch fire, yeah.
I appreciate y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? Just so whitey cop. Salute. Appreciate y'all for being here. But let's get into it, though. We ain't doing that now, man. Junior Fehoko. I got more of a day one plan for him than I do Overshown, Will Steele, honestly. And the difference between both the players, Junior and Overshown, even though I know Overshown was drafted a whole round ahead of him, I think Overshown was drafted as a ceiling project.
Mm.
I think Fehoko is a floor project, right? And that's why you got to differentiate. Are you floor guy or are you ceiling guy, right? In which, if you listen to the coaches talk about it, we played the linebackers coach, Scott McCurley, last week. and I'm gonna play Coach Sharif Floyd today as we talk about Junior here. When you listen to Sharif talk, Coach Floyd, he's like, "Oh man, we're gonna do boom, 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 and in year 2 we gonna do bam with Junior."
Yeah.
Right. Man, last week we was talking about Overshawn. Hey, Coach, what y'all gonna do with Overshawn? Hey, man, we got to figure that out first, dog. We're gonna bring him in and we're gonna see what we're gonna do. We're gonna figure the role out. We're gonna talk to the DB and the linebacker coach. We're gonna talk to Bones and figure all this out. And once we get him in the building, then we'll have an idea, right? But that comes with the debate of floor guy versus ceiling guy, right? Do you have to want to go through? I don't even want to say headache because this would be a fun process to figure out what to do with Overshawn. I think it'll be exciting to figure out what to do with Overshawn. But at the end of the day, we don't have a clear idea of what we're doing with Overshawn. Fehoko, if you just watch his film, like I said, he's a high floor guy. I don't know what his ceiling is because he's going to be a totally different player next year, right? But you know exactly what we're going to do with him. You see a motor guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's a guy that relies on his athleticism, not a super athlete, but he relies on that. But he got solid athleticism. It's more so leaned on motor. Powerful hands. Smart hand usage. Violent hand fighter. Quick hand user. Right? He's one of those guys that have enough nuance to know, hey, if I'm going to strike you with the left and I'm going this way, I need to clear you with the right. Right? Or if I'm striking you with the left and I'm going this way, I need to do something to defeat that inside hand. I may grab it. I may just shuck you. I may pull your pads, but I know I need to swim over the top to go the direction that I'm going. Right? When I watch Junior Fehoko, and mind you, I think his 2022 film is much better than his 2021 film. And I'll tell you another good thing about, all that or whatever, but he's so sure of his hands. He's so sure of what he sees, right? When he sees the run, he'll strike and get to the run. When he needs to stack and shed, he stacks and shed. Like when we go to D-line school, they always teach you read, run first, right? And it's like on his D-line of all long-haired characters, he's always the first one to diagnose, stack, shed, get rid of a guy, and make a play on the run, the run game, right? If he needs to quickly get rid of a guy and not stack and shed, he'll identify that. Boom, let me do some quick hand stuff. We're still showing it right now. Let me do some quick hand stuff to get rid of him quickly, right? If this is a single gap situation, not a two gap where I'm punching, looking one way and looking another way, if he's just purely in A, B, or C gap, and he's shooting forward, he got a hell of a ball get off the B shoot forward guy, right? Now, Will Steele's going to show you in this series of highlights. Y'all just got to keep your eyes open and put your thinking caps on. If you notice, Will Steele, his 2022 film, he looks much more of a bear and big as hell than he does in his 2021 film. Even bigger than he did in his 2020 film, right?
He was a former tight end.
Well, goddamn, Dane Brugler book and PFF. I didn't have all the nuggets and tidbits. That's why Will's still the best in the business, ladies and gentlemen. I ain't know all that, Will, but as you watch him over the years, and I had his 2021 and 22 film, he got bigger. He continued to get bigger. And when you listen to the coaches talk about it, let me go ahead and cue this up, Will. Still, when you listen to the coaches talk about it, that's a part of their plan, of making him even bigger and harnessing the upfield stuff, harnessing that striking ability, harnessing that hand fighting and that violence, that stacking and shedding ability, and turning that into a nuanced 3-tech character. It'll be interesting to see how this goes. But right now, we're gonna listen to Coach Sharif Floyd.
You know what?
Shut your ass up. We're going to listen to Coach Sharif Floyd talk about his hands. Here we go.
I agree. I think he did a great job of learning how to play with consistency with his hands and playing through them. You see a lot of guys nowadays playing with flippers and playing with.
That's really important. And I just got to stop there right there, right? Playing through his hands, right? He's not just guessing what to do with his hands. He's not just assuming, or he's not just, I'm just going to run down the middle of a guy and use my natural God-given ability. Yep. There's a lot of dudes that do that, right? But he understands that if I'm going to win, I need to win with my hands. And Will, this might have been beneficial to him because if he was a smaller defensive end, he never would be a guy that's powerful enough to just run through somebody or big enough to just run through somebody. Maybe as a smaller defensive end, he had to learn how to use his hands. And in year 3 to 4 of his college career, that's just something that he held on to, and it helps him out a little bit. When Coach Floyd talks about flippers, right? You just see guys throwing out flippers. This is a flipper when he talks about flipper. I've damaged mine over years because, you know, I was a young player using my flipper on people's face masks. It's not recommended. But when Coach Sharif Floyd talk about flippers, he talks about these D linemen that rush without plans, or they run down the middle of people. Instead of engaging with your hands and having a plan, you know what I mean? You're just kind of working your flipper, trying to run down the middle. You keeping one dude at bay right here and you're flipping with the other. You know what I'm saying? That's what Coach Floyd means when he's talking about flippers, right? These no hand guys, these no nuance guys. Not semi cousin.
Yeah, I'm gonna be doing that all year.
Vita Vele, brother. He is a character that this coaching staff has identified as a nuanced hand usage player. Had to explain it. Let's continue to listen to Coach Floyd.
With, you know, just trying to get up the field, thinking that the vertical charge is all they need. But I think this guy's just missing a couple little things to make his game even more better. And then when you can consistently come out and knock a guy back and play with your hands, you got the ability now to play a gap and a half. So at this point, I think I didn't even perfect like hand play until I got in the league, you know, and I played pretty good with him in college. But I think the consistency of it is just picking a guy up out of his stance and keeping your pads down and being able to gain extension and vision through your gap without lifting up.
Well, still, you think Sharif Floyd still got a little more in the tank? You know
I love listening to him talk football, man. You could tell he's a coach's coach type with all the verbiage.
Yeah. You know, so when we're listening to Coach Floyd talk about Vita Vele, brother, Junior, not Semi. We're gonna keep messing it up. But when we hear Coach talk about Semi, you know, he's impressed with how much he knows in terms of hand fighting and hand usage. I said the same thing. I was very much so impressed with him, but you know, that may just be a thing. But I think they're gonna continue to work on that. When he says, hey, we probably gotta clean up a little bit, I think that's like play identification. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, you know, window dressing to get them. Sometimes, you know, when they run. Okay, so we'll just do this. So if somebody's running a counter at you, it's your job to bow down on the counter, blow it up to somebody behind you to make a play, right? He may field that counter and cross face and get pinned in by some puller or something. You don't want that. You want to shut down the inside of the play. You don't want to give them outside like that, right? If there's an outside zone play, you want to fight all the way to the outside, keep them at bay, and you want the running back to kind of work back inside and not work your outside because you're C gap, you're contained gap, right? Viliami may feel somebody outside zoning him and do what the offensive lineman wanted him to do and cross his face and get back inside. And now the outside's wide open, right? So I don't think it's anything physically that Junior needs to work on. I think it's all like play recognition. I think it's all like football nuance stuff. Not technique things, but identifying particular plays. I think those are some things that Junior can work on. But very strong hands fresh out the box. And I think, you know, coaches got to like that, right? You know, when you bring in a character, I don't want to say overshown name, and, you know, coaches don't know what to do with you. I think that's different than a coach looking at you and going, man, I can't wait to see what he look like with some peanut butter on him, then punching shit out of people. You know what I'm saying? So that should be interesting. But Coach Floyd, what do you say? This is what do you say? What he brings to the team, what Junior Fehoko brings to the team.
And it's a blessing to have this guy. I think he brings a lot to the team in terms of physicality and passion for the game, you know, and he displayed a bunch of knockback ability. He displayed, you know, motor chasing the ball, and he got good get off. So it equates to a good pass rush. And
that's what I was about to say, but I forgot. My bad, Will. I was rambling last ago and I forgot what gap and a half. What does it mean when you can attack a gap and a half? You know, when Coach Floyd talks about blowback ability, right? How powerful can you engage somebody? Not just punching and standing somebody up, but can you punch a guy and get movement? Can you punch a guy and get penetration? So when we talk about gap and a half, if Viliami is playing B gap, Junior Fehoko, Vita Vele, brother, if he's playing B gap and he punches the hell out the guard, right? But let's just say the guard stood up, but he doesn't move, then Viliami can play A gap or he can play B gap. But what if Viliami punched the guard, and the guard tumbled into the center a little bit, right? So a gap and a half is now I can read B, and I've destroyed A so much that I can damn near make an impact on the other A gap. That's what coach means when he says he can attack a gap and a half because of his blowback. I know I got a very educated audience, and I know some of y'all men knew already, but in case you didn't, that's what Coach Floyd meant when he says you can attack a gap and a half by his blowback and his hand power and his strength and the shit like that. Let's continue the clip.
An array of moves that come with it. I think this guy can easily get into our rotation this year. And then within,
I think that's important too, Will Steele. He can get into the rotation this year, right?
He jumped on that pretty fast.
Yeah. So somebody asked me in the Patreon while we were talking about this. They were like, yo, Voch, who's the push off the bridge guy? Like, does he push Chauncey Golston? And I ain't really have an answer. Will, like I was sitting up there on the Patreon trying to figure it out because I know Carlos didn't come back, right? So there is an empty void there, right? But Mozzie's here, and, you know what I mean, and Junior's here. So what happens, Will Steele, if Coach Floyd is so confident, and I'm sure Coach Floyd said this because somebody else said this shit to him, Will, if Coach Floyd is so confident that he can help us this year, Coach ain't talking like he's gonna be just some he's on the team but he's inactive, you know, or we're gonna try to get him to the practice squad. He said he can help us this year.
Oh no, you're not cutting him, no.
Right. Who does he directly affect, Will Steele? If Junior's gonna be on the team and playing, who does he affect directly?
Isn't it Neville? I think it has to be no. I mean, because and also when you're done with it, I was going to say I believe that everything you're saying, I would love for him to slide inside sooner rather than later.
Sure.
But it sounds like, and I think there's a clip that you'll play later. But it sounds like they're going to take their time with that. So because I don't see him really supplanting anybody from a defensive end standpoint, it'd be on the interior, right, where you only have one real 3-tech like Osa. You know, so maybe that's what he means.
So let me ask you this, Will. How fast do you think we can get Fehoko going at 3? Because in my mind, Will Steele, how this sounds is that, all right, we're going to put you at like in the play right now. Right. But when you get your peanut butter, that's when you'll be a full-time 3-tech. Once we really mold you in 2 off seasons, this off season and especially next off season, then you're going to be the dude that we want you to be. Can we really push Neville off because Neville is a 1-tech / 3-tech guy. Fehoko is a N / 3-tech guy. So can you really push Neville off the bridge for Fehoko? Because if anything about Neville, we know that Neville can play 3-tech right now. So is it too soon to say that we push Neville off the bridge?
You could push Neville off the bridge for air. If you're putting him at 1-tech, I mean, Mozzie Smith, Jonathan Hankins, Quentin Bohanna. He was benched for Bohanna. He was inactive for the first week in the playoffs. He was inactive for multiple weeks during the regular season. Neville Gallimore is really competing with himself, in my opinion. So I don't really want to, when you phrase it that way, is it Neville versus Fehoko? Probably not. You know, it's probably Neville versus Fehoko versus Golston versus Mozzie versus Bohanna versus everybody else that's gunning to get into this rotation. So maybe it's not fair to say Neville versus Fehoko, but it's going to be Fehoko trying to, in my opinion, getting into that interior room. I don't see it being that edge because that's already a deep ass room. He ain't pushing Sam off the bridge. You know, he ain't pushing DA off the bridge. He ain't pushing Dante off. Those guys bring something from a high level that, you know, he just doesn't at this moment. He's a rookie. You know what I mean? Sure. You know, and then I started thinking about Chauncey a little bit, right? And in my mind, I think Chauncey kind of moved up the ranks a little bit. And if anything, Fehoko is going to be what Chauncey was last year, maybe. I don't know. But just hearing Coach Floyd say that, right? Just hearing him say that, like, yeah, man, like, you know, I can see him. He playing this year. You know what I mean? I just like, damn, Neville. Shit, big dog. But hey, I don't know. Let's finish up the clip.
In the next year or so, I see him moving inside to be a true 3 technique. He got the quickness and the get off and the power to do so. So probably get a little bit more weight on him and let him play inside and be disruptive for us.
Well, competition, man. Competition always great, you know. And boy, Neville, we gave you a pass and another pass, and we was like, yo, boy, you know, Neville ran over one center. You know, we was playing against the Washington football team. He made that one play versus 10 and dropped him on top of the quarterback. We're like, Neville back. Neville ain't do shit. And I just think they just, you know, I just think Neville ran out of lives, man. I just think he ran out of lives, and I just think that the coaching staff is just ready to lean on somebody new. Go ahead.
And to be fair, another reason why he might be saying this is, aside from D Law and I'll say Sam Williams.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say Sam Williams.
Yep.
Fehoko's listen. I don't think he's coming in here and he's going to be a pass rush demon at edge.
Mm-mm.
I think he can do. You know how they put Osa rookie year, and sometimes you see him out there at 5 tech. You see him floating out there. Sometimes they do some stunts. Fehoko is going to be fantastic on stunts because he is relentless. That I've always wanted, and I don't want to sound a certain way, but it is what it is. This is a good thing. I've always wanted an Islander on my team because they play with a passion and a relentless effort, a violent, relentless effort that is contagious, man.
Palomalu walks so these guys can fly.
Palomalu, I think the Steelers had one. Cincinnati had. I mean, they always are. They're 10-year type players because they play so damn hard.
Sure.
We got a term in basketball we use. We say OC, meaning you're out of control. That's probably the only thing about Fehoko in regards to his play where you got to rein it in a bit is he can be OC sometimes, and he's all over the damn place. Which is honestly, I'd rather you be OC. Because I can get you to slow it down. Because when you see the game better, it's the same thing with the Marvin and Overshown. When you see the game better, you're able to play at that pace more efficiently. In college, he can Mountain West, ITT Tech dude. He gonna whoop them. But if you get matched up with a quality guard or tackle, they'll beat you with just pure technique because I think he's a below average end. He's an above from a athletic standpoint. He's an above average interior guy from an athletic standpoint. So he's not going to out athlete you in the NFL. You know what I mean? So he's going to have to, slow down a little bit, not be as much out of control, but don't lose that fire, like playing with his hair on fire. Don't lose that.
Sure. His luxurious hair on fire. King Element in the chat says, breaking news, Skywalker Steele of A to Z Dallas, not volume. Just called black people lazy. All right, y'all, we got to find a new producer, man. Scott just said, go get an Islander because
I never really thought of it that way, King. That's crazy that you would say that. But nah, I just like Islanders play with that attitude, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's all jokes. We get it. It's all jokes. But I do love what you're saying because I mean those dudes just have a good reputation of just coming in the league and just lasting. You know what I mean? Like whether it be Haloti Nada or somebody like that, or just pick a fast running
or some not a star because not a borderline Hall of Famer. But there's dudes who just you'd be like, damn, he's in the league for 10 years. He's in the league for 8 years, and he was a core part of the team.
Sure. So yeah, man, I'm with you. I only had 2 clips. So what clip were you talking about earlier? You was hoping that I had.
You already played it. I didn't want to jump ahead where he said that they was going to bump him inside.
Okay, yeah.
And honestly, I kind of want to see that sped up. Then tell me if I'm wrong. I don't view him as a really good athlete at the end standpoint. I think he can get in trouble in the league. But if you slide him inside, I think he could be an above average athlete on the interior.
Mm-hmm.
That sound about right?
Yeah. Because and look, Will, like think about it. You can go back to his 2020 film. I got a little bit. If you need, let me know.
Yeah. I don't got no 2020 film, so yeah, shoot that.
It's hard to find. It's Air Force, motherfucker. But when you find it, like he's little bitty. And every year he's grown, you know what I'm saying? And I think he got a little more room to grow. But in this 2023, he looked like a bear almost with his hair all flowy and shit. Like I've been waiting on the Islander too.
Man, look.
But just a flowy haired bear, just big as hell standing up. So if they feel like he got a little more in him, I love what you said by he has above average athleticism for the inside, because when we was watching him in Patreon, there was a couple plays where I was just highlighting like, hey man, look at his first step right here. He didn't make the right play but Coach Floyd talked about that. But look at his first step right here. This center tried to down block on him, and he was on the other side of the line of scrimmage. You know what I mean? Like you can't make certain kind of blocks versus him because he does get upfield quickly. And if you try to play the bully game with him, he got hand fighting, right?
Yeah.
So he's a floor guy, Will Steele, but he's really a ceiling dude because there's so much change coming. There's so much change for him. We're gonna make him, bigger and stronger, of course, and then let's see how he plays with the weight. But according to the film that I watched, the more you put more weight on him, the more confident he get, the more strong he get, the harder he is to move, and the better he is with those hands. So maybe that's the projection that they were looking for. That they saw that and they went, damn boy, we just gonna put a couple more pounds on him. We're gonna see.
And I can't remember if I lost track of what I was saying in regards to, the way he can get on the field. He's a run guy. Mm-hmm. Like D-Law, and I think Sam is an underrated run defender now, or at least he started developing to that. But Fehoko, I think, could come in right now and be a run guy for you. Preferably, I'd like to see him inside, but I know he's a little light. He's a little light for that right now. But he's definitely going to put on more weight. I think it's going to be easier for him than it was for, Golston? And Golston shot up to what, like 290?
Chauncey was big as hell.
Chauncey shot up. He already about 280 with a ton of room to grow to easily. I think he can easily get around 295 if he wanted to over the next couple years. But nowadays you see 280, 285, 290 for 3 tech. So that's not really abnormal. And he's got that strength. And I think slide him inside, his athleticism will uptick. But from a run standpoint, man, that's kind of where I see him contributing this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It'll be interesting, man. And the best part about it, though, Will, still in my opinion, is that you ain't gotta rely on him this year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Our D line room is stacked. Like it's ridiculous stacked. You know what I mean? And Neville might be the one getting the old yellow treatment, but even with him doing that, you have Osa and Mozzie playing 3 tech over him. Chauncey playing run game 3 tech over him. Bohanna, sometimes Mozzie, and Hankins playing nose duty for us. You know what I'm saying? So it's room for him to kind of sit back and figure this whole thing out. If he's a guy that's inactive, it makes more sense to me. As a rotational upfield guy, pass rush or something, like if it's the end of the game and we got a lead and we trying to, you know what I'm saying, just get pressure and get sacks or something like that, sure, throw him out there and let him run around and figure this thing out. You know what I'm saying? But it's some dudes in that room. And I love what you said about the end room. It ain't like he gonna fit in that neither, because we got dudes that's just better than him right now. You know what I'm saying? Like they've done this in the league. Somebody asked me, I was like, man, Voch, he a better pass rusher than Osa? And I was like, well, Osa coming out of UCLA maybe wasn't very much of a pass. Like he was a one tech. Like Osa was 280 pounds playing 0 on one tech coming out of UCLA. But Osa the Cowboy gonna be a fucking demon. You know what I'm saying? Like that's different.
It's a crazy comparison because Osa didn't play end.
Right.
Right.
For sure.
Fehoko was an end in college.
Yeah. That's what I said to him. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And I understand where they were coming from, because it's the whole, now we're a 3 tech thing. If Viliami's going to be a 3 tech now, Osa's a 3 tech now. Can we compare that? And I just think Osa right now is a much better player than Fehoko. But Fehoko's best years are going to be ahead of him, in my own personal opinion.
Yes. I'm excited for him. When he was picked, I didn't know nothing about him, so I had to do a bunch of homework. And the more you dig into him, man, they're getting guys that love the game. They're getting guys that are coachable, right, and talented dudes. Do's the same, or Demo's the same way. Fehoko is like that. Deuce is like that. I mean, the Hall may not look like it looked in years past from a premium talent standpoint, but if these guys have some talent and they love the game and they're willing to get better, that's a start for a team that has good coaching.
Yeah. And I said this on KG's podcast, man. Shouts out to KG. Me and him had a pretty good pod. Like, if you had a better free safety higher on your board, right? But you got a goal in mind, because you know that we got to play the Giants, we got to play the Eagles, we got to play the 49ers, right? It's almost like you got to lean towards your deficiencies, right? Like that free safety may be better on your board, but Fehoko helps you more. You know what I mean? Fehoko is a dude that you need to help you more. So you take that player. And just like Coach Floyd said, and just like the theme of these last few drafts, we got to get tougher, man. We got to get tougher. We got to get tough. Tough. He's tough, man. He's tough. He's physical. And I never really used the term dog like this, because I just been used to Byron Jones type players my whole life. You know what I mean? But they got one. They got a doggish character. And Junior Fehoko.
I've been using the term on my show, Voch. So-and-so player is going to piss some people off at camp. And what I mean by that is they're gonna piss off somebody that is a starter or they're competing against. Fehoko gonna piss some people off down there at camp, bro. Like,
well, think about what Antoine Woods was. I forgot the boy name so long ago. Antoine Wood, right? And we just kept hearing about him pissing off Zach Martin, or that clip came out of him pushing back Travis Frederick or whatever, right? And he made the team by just fucking with Travis Frederick that game. You know what I mean? Like, he's a dude that's gonna get blocked. Tyler's gonna block him. You know what I mean? Terrence Steele, wherever he lines up, he's gonna block. They're gonna block him, but he's not gonna be fun to block. No. You know how Tyron, how Tyron used to grab dudes, they just stop. You know what I'm saying? Fehoko's gonna be a dude that's gonna keep fighting, and you gonna block him. He's gonna get blocked, but he's gonna keep fighting and scratching and clawing at you. And one day he's gonna be a better, stronger dude, and that's gonna result in even more production. So I like the player, man. I have a clearer path for success for Fehoko than I do Overshown.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean?
That perfectly said. 100%. And that's not a knock on Demo. It's just that he doesn't check a single box. He checks many. But in the NFL, you kind of got to narrow that down a bit.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we know exactly what we're gonna do with them. Let's get into the phones. There's only two of them, and boy, I'll walk out just like this, y'all.
Hey, well, shit.
Let's do it. Carter 3 is a classic, though. By the way, man, Carter 3 is a classic. Man.
Indeed.
All right, here we go. Let's get Reek on the phone. See what he time out. What's up, Reek?
What's going on, Fox? What's going on, Sky?
Yo.
Actually, yeah, man. Actually, I just came in on the phone. My thing is, like you said before, I really believe that Mike McCarthy and Dan Quinn wants this team to be a tougher team, especially toward the end of the season.
Yeah.
Going into the playoffs. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because by you being tougher and going toward the playoffs, it's going to say a lot. It's going to set the tone for how this team is going to react in crunch time moments. You know what I mean? I feel that the San Francisco 49ers got away with a few plays in that game to help them win, and by Tony Pollard being injured, I would say it was a blessing in disguise, because now they know they had to load up on more talent in the running back room. We can't just rely on this guy. We need more talent behind him. So if that happens again, we'll be ready. And I'm glad that they sticking with a person like Tyler. I mean, the rookie wide receiver from last year. I'm happy that they didn't try to just draft another guy behind him to overshadow him. I'm glad that Mike McCarthy and them, they have a plan for him, and they got a plan for the rest of this team. So I just can't wait to see how all this comes together. But we're making ourselves a tougher team, and I love it. Yeah. That's all I want to see. Toughness on both sides of the ball. That's it for me. All right.
Appreciate you, Reed. Good call. And he made a good point about
the conference has been locked.
About the wide receiver room, hey, go and get Brandon Cooks, man, and because when we get to the playoffs, we're gonna need more dudes or whatever. So instead of leaning on Tolbert and just hoping that Gallup is gonna come back healthy, it's more than likely more than likely 9 times out of 10, Tolbert's gonna come back better, Gallup's gonna come back healthier, and those dudes should be better than they were last year.
Right.
9 times out of 10. But you need Brandon Cooks just for security. Just for security, you need Brandon Cooks. So I do feel good about that. I think if we were to play the 49ers again with this roster, man, I don't want to even say it. I just kind of want to show up and do it, but y'all feel what I'm saying. What?
If we had to play them with this coach. Well, Sky, he was a coach last year.
Right.
Or was he? Was he calling the play?
Right. And now Dan Quinn, the head coach. Boy,
we got 2 head coaches down here.
MJ, what up, man?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Man, what's good with you, brother? What you got for the show?
Oh man, loving what the Cowboys done.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of the scheme. We never had a scheme for our offense.
Right.
It'd be less pressure on Dak Prescott.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be more fun because now he get to hit Cook over the top with a 50 or 60-yard bomb.
Yep.
CeeDee Lamb on slant. Gallup on slant, Simi on scamp, whoever make it.
Tony on slants. Yeah.
Skimmy.
Toby, all them.
Some naked.
Make the whole team. Now you're going to have a good screen game that the Cowboys never had in their life.
Sure.
That's the key. Never had a screen game. Now we're about to have a screen game.
Well, you know,
be one of the most dangerous. Yep.
Well, you know, Marv, on the .com draft coverage, I forgot what coach. I think it was a running back coach that they said that running the screens was the emphasis this offseason. So you're right, Marv. We're gonna work on that.
Mm-hmm.
So the offense gonna be in cahoots with the defense, and then look what y'all say. But Mozzie starting at the 3-tech, then he move over to the 1-tech. Now this is a chance for Neville to go back to what he used to play, the 3-tech.
Neville gonna be in Jacksonville tomorrow.
He just got a chance. He just gotta come in and play like he played. And you got Mozzie and Neville in the game with Osa. And look what y'all said. Sometimes they like playing big ball on their end.
Neville about to be in Cincinnati somewhere, Marv.
Oh my God! And the key, y'all said big thing. We got the linebacker. Because you gotta remember that LSU linebacker would have went number 1 or 2 if they would have caught that net. So he's here. But the key is like y'all saying, Overshawn. I just was thinking of stuff. Just think of this.
Why are we saying stuff that we didn't say?
Smith at end.
Like y'all said, the key's Overshawn.
I have no clue how we got
one Osa.
I have no clue how we got
pass rush
and he's
on third down. And then you got
he's not gonna address this at all. He's gonna keep it.
And your boy Curse. 27. I mean 0 Curse. You got 0 Curse.
Yeah.
Overshawn, whatever his name is. They don't know we're gonna shoot a blitz.
I thought I said Oilsheen. Yeah. Go ahead.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They don't know we're gonna shoot a blitz. Watch. And still, you go in the swan, and then that linebacker we got that's 229. By the time of camp, he'll probably like 240.
Who?
Still running 4-5.
Who?
Huh?
Who? You said
Overshawn finna put on 10 pounds.
Overshawn? I mean, we live. You ain't saying nobody's name. You said the linebacker that's 229. That's gonna be 330 at camp. I don't know who that is. You ain't saying nobody's name on.
He told you you gotta listen.
They're gonna be. It says that he's 229. 11 more pounds, 240. You know what I'm saying? So
he can count now. Okay,
I do that. But the key to what I'm saying, trying to get to, is cursing him is like a chess match.
look at Will Steele. Look.
You go blitz Curse or you go blitz him. They don't know who coming. And then there's gonna be a lot of interceptions for a lot of quarterbacks.
Yeah,
man, it's gonna be beautiful.
I agree.
So our team's gonna be dangerous.
I agree.
Fine.
So Marv, what you saying is that Gilmore being a lockdown cornerback too is gonna make teams throw at linebackers more, and we got really good coverage linebackers and guys like Curse and Overshawn, right? That what you're saying?
Yeah, we're our 2 corners because that pass rush is coming so fast, so the quarterback got to think quick. But see, they're gonna think we blitz and they don't know who's coming.
Yeah.
0 or your boy. They don't know who's coming now.
Who the fuck is your boy? Who is that? Who is your boy?
Overshawn.
Okay.
Overshawn.
Because that could be 6 people.
Overshawn.
Devin Harper, my boy.
Him and Curse. And you got number 6 back there knocking your head out. And it should make it easy for our safeties too. They ain't got to come down no more. That's the key. If your safeties don't have to come down, they have a lot of corners.
Yeah, that's real.
You see what I'm getting at, right?
Yeah.
This defense will be cold-blooded.
Hey.
Offense in cahoots. I think we're going to finally do it, y'all.
Yeah.
I got a good feeling.
I'm with you, Marv. I feel good about it, man. Fantastic call, though, Marv. Yo, Marv, we love you, man. Can't wait to see you in Oxnard, man. Appreciate you.
We love you too, Voch Steele, and don't be messing with my getting this player's name wrong.
Marv don't know what day it is, boy. Appreciate you, Marv. y'all know, my boy. Quit messing with my boy.
Let me tell you something, player.
Y'all know. Tony Varela TV. Tony Varela Comic TV says that background whistling is annoying as hell. Boy, you the only one.
The only one.
The only one. Nigga, you the minority. You the minority. Yeah, cut up loud.
You ever see what's the Mike Epps stand up where he's talking about how come it's always that dude that act different when he around his boys when he compared to with his wife? He with his wife, he like, hey man, how's it going? Everything good to go, everything. But when he with his boys, where up is that sound like Marv.
Look, Marv might be the smartest motherfucker in the room in real life. He might be a professor in real life. He just talk like that because he drank at 2:00, and that's just what we get from him.
Hey,
but Marv might be, man. Marv
bro,
might be
I didn't tell you this part about Marv. So remember how he told us on the show that he went to University of Washington.
Sure.
He ran track.
Okay.
Yeah. He ran track apparently with Isaiah Stanback. So, you know,
how the fuck old is Marv?
I thought he was older, like way older than Isaiah, but apparently not, man. Yeah, man. Marv was out there running track, dog.
Damn, Marv.
Wet up.
I just got a feeling I'm gonna see Marv and he gonna ask me for $1.
Like, remember my man at the Mavericks game?
Yeah. Yo, chat, it was this well-dressed man, boy, just at the Mavericks game. Me and Will still waiting on our Uber. We just sitting up talking to Dak Prescott, brother. And so much happened that night. Old girl argued with dude about the phone.
Yeah, that was wild too. Yeah.
That was wild too. But some well-dressed dude walked up to us and said, boy, I bet y'all be having a good time, huh? Yeah, man. You know, man, Will, my guy, man, boy.
I
shit.
knew it was coming.
Man, boy, y'all, man, y'all you say, boy, y'all them dudes, huh? I'm like, I mean, you know, we chill.
He said, y'all looking sharp. Y'all
sharp, boy.
I already know what he.
But Will said, I want him to ask though. I want
right.
Yeah. So I was like, hey man, appreciate you, bro. Boy, shit, what y'all got going on tonight? Y'all probably jumping all around the city. Nah, we're gonna be fine. Let me borrow $1.
That's what he said.
Let me borrow $1. Hey, dog, don't play with me like that, dog.
Facts, man. Just jump straight to it. That was funny.
Let me borrow $1. Oh man, let me hold something. Come on, young blood.
Wait, hold on. He flat out came out and said, he said, look like y'all got some money, man.
Yeah, I know y'all got some money.
I know y'all got it.
Look, I felt safe, right? Because, you know, whatever, right? But I know y'all got something. I know y'all holding on to something.
Man, he was waiting for people to leave the little hot dog stand because he seen them pull out cash. That's what he was doing.
Dog, we saw this couple get into an argument. I got frustrated at somebody. I ain't gonna say nothing else. Dak Prescott, brother. And then like 30 minutes later, we see him down the street. Boy, y'all cutting up, man.
We the same dudes, fam. We the same dudes, y'all.
Boy, I bet y'all cutting up waiting outside for your Uber. Boy, I bet your Uber finna be, man, come on, dog. All right, man, let's get these last two callers in, man, if we get up out of here. 689, what's up? Who this?
Yo, what's up, bro? It's Damon.
What's up, man?
Damon.
I done switched it up. I'm in the wind like a fart, baby.
Oh, okay. DC, you got another new number.
Yeah, man, I switched it up. But hey, I'm gonna keep it quick, man. All I was thinking about as far as the draft, man, I ain't even sweat the whole time. As far as I'm concerned, Will McClay can go ahead and do his thing, man. Until he shows me otherwise, he might be the only person in the front office who is not on the pipe.
Yep.
So as far as whatever Will McClay want to do, I'm cool with it.
Yep.
I like all the hoes that we filled, man. Personally, I ain't got nothing wrong to say about the draft. I love what y'all doing.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's been a minute, so I just wanted to call and keep it short, man. Y'all be easy.
All right, appreciate you, man. Salute. Yeah, man. DC called from his third trap phone, so we're gonna go ahead and save that in there. So next time he call, we'll know it's him. 914. What up? Who this?
Hey, Voch, my name is Craig. Recent watcher of your show. Appreciate the good work you guys do.
Hey, man. What's up, Craig? Appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching the show and supporting us and all that. And what you got for the show? What you got for us?
Hey, a couple of topics. First one I was going to ask and get your feedback on is about Overshawn.
Mm-hmm.
More to the point, though, about the linebacker position as a whole. Obviously, from listening to you guys, watching the film with you, the guy seems like he's going to have a role. It's going to be a pretty confined role.
Yes, sir.
In terms of looking out for injury, though, for your first two starters, do you think Cox has got to prove he can be trusted to start? Or do you feel at that point, if he can't, they'll have to sign some vet to be confident in a injury situation?
Man, Craig, I'm just go ahead and be real with you, man. When we get down to like, it's the end of this week and 9 people got to be cut, or the end of another week and like 10 people got to be cut, I think Jabril gonna be first on that list, man. Because he's just like, man, you know, we just keep hearing the coaches say, "Oh man, we so proud of Jabril how he came back from injury. Oh man, we're just happy to have him. We're ecstatic to have Jabril, boy, but we just proud how he came back from." But won't nobody say we need to get Jabril going. We need to play Jabril more, right? And it's just all throughout the year we're looking at Van Der Esch goes down. What better opportunity to rotate him at least? And they wouldn't even rotate him. So
did you hear what McCurley said? Very small, subtle thing, but it's very interesting because Stanback said this and everybody kind of turned a blind eye to it. Mm-hmm. Apparently, he was still recovering. Yeah, and McCurley mentioned in his little drop by during the draft that and Jabril continuing to recover from his injury. So I just wonder if he was just not all the way back physically and mentally. I know from a mental standpoint, you usually aren't there the first year. But yeah, man, this is a big year for Jabril to at least reestablish what he was his rookie season, which is a special teams guy, and he flew around when he got out there, as a rookie. But I don't think he's there mentally and physically yet.
It is so tough to be third year hurt guy when they're also looking for big things from Harper, and then they're looking for Overshown as a third round pick. They're looking for Overshown, they're looking for Clark. Like it's gonna be tough. I think Jabril can do it because I got faith in the player. But boy, he got to heal the climb. He gonna have to have a nuclear camp. Will Steele. Yeah. But go ahead, though, Craig. Fantastic question, by the way. Go ahead.
Okay, thanks. Appreciate it, guys. And my next topic is really about Schoonmaker and a couple of points. I think you and Will have done a great job kind of breaking this guy down in terms of how he fits, things like that. And I've been kind of going at it on fan sites since the draft. This was one of the two guys I wanted, either him or Washington, to be quite honest with you, in terms of the tight end class, in terms of where I thought value would be and where need is. As it relates to Schoonmaker, though, in terms of if you say, was he of value at the second round? The point I'm bringing up a little bit, too, that I don't necessarily know that you guys do, you kind of touch on it a bit, is how often is McCarthy going to stick with multi-tight end sets, 12 formations and 3 tight ends and things like that? I think if you can get to like a 30% usage, you can legitimately get this guy about a snap count of about 40% of what a starter would get the first year.
They used it 31% last year, brother.
Sure. They use it a lot. So honestly, I don't think that he's supposed to be a Jake Ferguson replacement. I just think he's a Peyton Hendershot, type guy or whatever, right? So when they're in 12 personnel, they want to get better at blocking. Hendershot was a fine blocker. Like, he was a solid blocker, right? But Schoonmaker blows it out the water, and you were talking about like value, draft him in the second round. I think that's going to depend on how he develops his pass catching, like that whole game. I was saying this on KG show, like if Jacksonville drafts him and they don't have a plan to develop his his pass catching, his route running, receiving, things like that, then they overdraft Schoonmaker in the second round. But I trust Lunda Wells because I've seen Lunda Wells take receiving tight ends and make them block better, and I've seen him take blocking tight ends and make them receive better, right? So this is a results-based thing with Luke, right? Schoonmaker, right? If you can develop his passing and it's ready for week one, like we know what he's going to do as a blocker, but if he's a good pass catcher week one, then the value goes up. You're gonna have to hindsight look at that value, like, hey man, our tight ends coach got him right. So this is what we thought he could be, and he is what we thought he was. So sure, I don't think Ferguson goes anywhere. I think Ferguson's still the first guy, but Mike McCarthy talked about how important it is for tight ends to play 4 positions. So there's going to be opportunity for Luke to play in the slot. There's going to be opportunity to play fullback when other kid from North Dakota State ain't doing it. Play the wing guy and to play second tight end guy. So I think there's going to be plenty of opportunity for Luke Schoonmaker. And if he can physically tackle people, he'll be on kickoff.
And then if you guys will indulge me, I've got kind of an offshoot part of that too. Okay, so I know Will was mentioning, a lot of fans, of course, were upset about not going offensive line early. And, Will was mentioning, everyone's focused on left guard and, someone like a Schoonmaker, in theory, could help out a bit in additional pass blocking skill. I've been thinking a bit more about that. It seems like everyone's trying to fight to get Tyler Smith to left tackle. And I think ultimately, of course, he's going to end up there. But I would say there's a route for him to stay at left guard, even if Tron goes down, It seems like what I'm starting to call a 2 degrees to let's go situation. It seems like most fans would be very nervous about him being your first option to fill in if Tron goes down.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's a bad idea, number one, to see where he's at this point. But additionally, when you talk about where Schoonmaker can help, we saw all that pass blocking ability in that tape.
Right.
I think that's a situation where he might be a guy where you might actually be comfortable giving Let's Go a shot if you've got him helping out with combos.
It's gonna take a hell of a camp to get me to trust,
Let's go.
Well, let's go like that. You know what I mean? I think Josh Ball gets cut, and I think if something happens to Tron, I think we just move Tyler
to left tackle.
We just move Tyler to left tackle at that point, and we'll use whatever guard we got. But on another note, since you're talking about backup left tackle, Waletzko is going to be competing with your 5th round pick, Awesome Richards. So Richards is a guy that I like, but we like Waletzko also. But I think I like Richards' North Carolina film more than Waletzko's regular North Dakota film. So if Richards is a guy that can come in and push Waletzko, you may not have to put Richards at guard. You just leave him at tackle and just not have to move Tyler.
Yeah, I don't see a world unless Waletzko has to have. We're gonna have to do a show called Nuclear Camp.
Nuclear Camp.
We dubbed that last year, but he's gonna have to go nuclear for me to say, all right, Tyron's down. Mm-hmm. We're keeping Tyler at left guard. We're gonna put it on with Let's Go to protect the blind side of your franchise quarterback without knowing if he can or not. So I ain't ready to go there yet. I got to see him do that before we decide to keep Tyler at left guard.
I would rather put Fournier at left guard and Tyler at left tackle than to just trust Waletzko.
Until he gives us a reason to trust him.
Unless he go nuclear.
Yeah.
All right. Appreciate you, Craig.
Fair enough. I tend to agree with you. I'm not. Yep. Thanks.
Right. that was a fantastic call, man. Next time you call in, we'll know it's you. Those are some great questions. Let me borrow $1. Good questions though.
Yeah, the Schoonmaker blocking thing. If you go back and watch all the games that Peyton Hendershot and Jake, and really just the tight ends in general, but mostly Peyton Hendershot and Jake Ferguson. It's about 3 or 4 games where they were the guys.
Sure.
They did, and maybe this was a Kellen Moore thing. Yeah. But they did a whole lot of, I don't know what the verbiage would be, but they would kind of do a delay route where in the play action, they're pass blocking and then they're releasing very late and they're kind of a late option. I personally hate those because I don't think that Kellen Moore designed those play action routes out of 12 very well. But I wonder if this year, like he said, you see a little bit more Schoonmaker just being, as your guy said, a Y guard. Where we're not going to send Schoonmaker out. We'll send maybe Ferguson out or Hendershot, whoever is in tandem with him. We'll keep him in to block, right? Or vice versa. Because I watched Jake Ferguson do a whole lot of delayed routes, delayed releases, in the play action in 12 personnel. So I wonder if they get rid of that at the frequent rate that Kellen did over the last 3 years, and they just release those dudes right away, or they say, hey, look, we're gonna keep him as an extra blocker, but we'll just be more creative in our pass concept.
It should be fun, man. Just put all 3 of them out there. Just move them around. Kellen Moore had that little package where we had all the tight ends out there. Where we had 3 tight ends. CeeDee Lamb was at 4. He was at running back, and I think it was
003 is about. I think we called it the 003.
It
was the 03. Yeah, there was no running back, 3 tight ends, 2 receivers.
Yeah. That was a fun part. But that was the first time Kellen Moore had any kind of creativity. We was like, hey, man, we should do this more. And we never saw that shit again.
Not in that capacity. You might have saw one play out of it, but you didn't see with zero running backs. We never saw that again.
What made it impressive was the fact that we'll do it for a whole drive
bro.
And just play mismatch off of it. But
hey, update on Marv. So Marv didn't run with stand back is what he said. He said I was before stand back. So he just used to go to the practices and he saw
Marv
stand back.
Still sound 50.
So look, so when he was at the practices, Marv was hey man, you got $1. You look like you a future cowboy, man.
Boy, I know your car clean.
Come on, man. We on campus. Where the
Let's get these stupids in, man, so we can clock out. I need a nap today. Appreciate y'all. Q Boogavelli dropped the deuce and says I'd started watching you on the island. You know which. Yeah, I know, right? Or is that IDA? If Dorrance Armstrong started watching you on the island.
Damn, I wish I could see this.
I just it's in too deep. Pause. I'd started watching you on the island.
He started watching you maybe when he was on the island?
I don't know what the hell. Let's say.
I don't know, man.
Let's say Will Steele. Look at that. Pull it up real quick. Q Boogerville. The first one.
Oh shit!
What my knife at? What that mean?
Oh, you said Dorrance Armstrong. You stupid, bro.
I thought it was like D.A. I like D.A. I'd have started watching you. Huh?
You know which? Oh, you know where you know which one it is.
Oh, is he talking about Dontrell? Is he talking about Dontrell? I started watching you on the island. You know what?
I don't got it for you, brother.
Yeah, we just gonna stop sharing this and dip out. Yeah, we don't want no trouble, my guy. I don't know what that means. I don't know. Watch that be a riddle to $1 million or something. Some Illuminati dude trying to send us some money. King Element Dry 5 says L ain't in today, so I'm gonna do the honors. He Dry 5 says Studio 2023. Hey man,
my guy.
King Element, come on, man. How fired it is. And then on the Voch side,
hey, Louis Z said, on God, I gotta start vlogging or have a body cam when y'all link. As much as that would be fun, man, we just be in the moment. But you're right.
We need somebody to follow.
Need somebody else to do it because I ain't got time to pull my phone out and do all this.
Yeah,
we just be in the moment. But that would be fun though.
Yeah, I'm not. I can't do it, man. I can't do it. Let's hit refresh and check out the Voch side. All right. Martin Ukhpai dropped a deuce and says Samoan Nigerians polished. So Samoans and Nigerians are polished natural football players. Hey, same way. Appreciate you, man. Good call. I mean, good. Appreciate super chat. And Jimmy O dropped a dime and says, when you see waters regularly, you don't worry about it. Waves. When you see waves regularly, you don't worry about it when the sea is calm. Nice guys. But when there's a hurricane,
hey, Marcus.
Now, this ain't Marcus, this is Jimmy. But
right.
When there's a hurricane where big waves are coming, they evacuate. This is going to be our pass rush. Physical and dominant. Hey, I like it, Jimmy. I like the analogy. Appreciate it. Let's get Marcus Harrison in here, man. Proud Papa. A proud, not Tulane, Tulsa, a proud Tulsa Papa. Come on, Marcus Harrison. Where you at? I know you got us. What you got here? Let me take my handkerchief and put it in my lap while you know. Well, there you go. There go Marcus. Here we go. Marcus Hardison says, at the volume, that's me, Will Steele, and Vita Vea and all the Islander people. At the volume, oh shit, the bamboo that bends is stronger than the oak that resists. Hold on, Will Steele. Hold on now. The bamboo that bends is stronger than the oak that resists.
Bamboo strong as hell, man.
It's like bending but not breaking, you know what I'm saying? Being able to endure things, you know? When you fall 7 times, make sure you get up 8. Continue to persevere. Voch, Sky, and the chat. Appreciate you, brother Marcus, man. We love you to pieces, man. Shouts out to you and baby girl, man. We proud of y'all.
When I think of bamboo, I don't know why. I know this was serious, but I think about Rush Hour 2 or 3 when they was
falling on the joint. Go on, man. Japanese proverbs. Okay, cool. There you go. Miyazaki said that. Hey, man. Fantastic first day back.
You hear what Tamara said?
What'd he say?
He said, y'all pay me, I'll follow y'all around like Mario. We will pay the person to do that. That's the whole point.
We tried to pay, we tried to tell somebody, hey, hop in the DMs, we'll set this up. Yeah, if you have a camera and because I'm not gonna provide a camera for you, but if you got a camera and you know how to manipulate, you know how to use your lenses and settings and really, like videographize, if you're a videographer or whatever, and you good with that, hey, we need pictures and video. Sure, we will pay.
I mean, roll up on Boss Man Fast Guy,
I'm not trying to I'm gonna get my goddamn gun license taken away fucking with them motherfuckers, man. Them motherfuckers out here. But sure, hey, if there's a videographer that's gonna be at Oxnard or that's in the California area, y'all, or because California's huge, the Oxnard area, tap in with us. We will put money in your pocket.
Yep.
But hit the like button, subscribe, and all that. We love y'all to pieces, man. Be sure to follow all my pages, Voch Lombardi, VOCHLOMBARDI. That's my social medias and all that. My non-football platform is twitch.tv/Voch Lombardi. We're going to get that back going pretty soon because, draft season's almost over. And patreon.com/Voch Lombardi, where we watch the film as a whole. I've been point guarded by the best in the business today, Master William Skywalker Steele on social media, Skywalker STEELE. And y'all be sure to catch him on A to Z Dallas in the morning, 8:30 to 10:30. He's putting out some goodness. A to Z Dallas on YouTube. All right. For the rest of y'all, man, y'all hold down for the Dosey Walls and the Peace Whiskey. Till next time, we're going to talk about Asim Richards. Volume.
You hit the time on the head. You said 4:15.
Hey, we're going to get this nap, y'all. Oh, Voch, it's only 4:15.
No. Your body naturally knew when it was 4:15. Damn.
All right, bring your asses now. Wrap this phone up and